Hello, everybody. Happy July 9th. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday morning this morning. Scott and I got up really early. We already took the dogs for their morning mile. I am still quite tired after yesterday's adventurous hiking, biking ride. Hi, Christy, Melissa. Hi, Jen, Marie, sorry, putting words in there that don't belong. My meatmorphosis, I love that. That's a cute little name, by the way. All right. If you got questions, chuck them in there. I've got some other questions I pulled up that we will start into. Let's see. Rand asked, what is Gardner baked cheese? It is a Wisconsin-based company that makes the best oven baked cheese. We got some of their other cheeses, which are really, really good. I had to freeze all the extra ones, and I'm only allowed to take one out a week for us to have as like a special treat because I'm not normally a cheese person. But this oven baked cheese, it's like eating cheese like breadsticks without the bread. It's literally cheese and spices, but it's delicious. Delicious. Hi, Brandon, Barbara, Jenny, Word Vendor. That's cute too. Wendy and Peggy and Lynn. Tina asked, how far away are these beautiful places you hike from your home? We live in Northwest Washington State. Honestly, 10 minutes. The one we did yesterday, 10 minutes, and we started in the Fairhaven neighborhood of Bellingham and then biked towards Larrabee Park, which is this huge, beautiful state park. Monica asked, can carnivore help with lymphedema or lipedema? Yes, I have lipedema in my arms. I mean, that's why it's proportionately larger. They're like, the best way to know if you have lip edema is they'll have pearls, like you can actually feel them. I have them. They've gotten smaller. Lymphedema, still yes. It depends. If you've had like breast cancer and had a breast removed and they've removed a lymph node, it will help. It's not going to resolve all of it. The lymph node is pretty much like the sewer system pipes, like that drain all that fluid out into the bladder, and then we urinate it out. And if it's removed, it's lost an exit point. But less carbs, less fluid retention, less lymphedema you will hold. So in a roundabout way, yes, it will. But it definitely is helping with my lipedema. All right. Hi, Tia, Karen, Beth. Let's see. Hi, Tina, 2 weeks in with 125 pounds to lose. You got this, sister. Overwhelming to think how long it'll take. Tired of being in pain 24/7. Do not think about the 125 pounds you have to lose. That is like the number one way to stress yourself out and slow it down. I am finding that my 100, I don't know how much else I've lost because I'm going to wait till August 1st to weigh, but my 121 pounds, I lost 1 pound 121 times. Okay. I started this journey needing to lose like anywhere from 220 to 240 pounds, just wherever I end up at. That is a lot. And I used to get, how do I say this? I'd get so overwhelmed I didn't make any decisions. I didn't make any choices. It was just too much to comprehend. But how do you eat a mammoth? Because let's be honest, weight loss is bigger than an elephant. How do you eat a mammoth? One bite at a time. Focus on the day-to-day, maybe tomorrow and today, but don't think any further past that. Wendy, down 45 pounds, congrats. But now I've been on a stall for 2 months. Any ideas? Journal what you're eating. And I strongly suggest only weighing yourself once a month. Do not weigh yourself daily. Reduce the amount of stress. I am finding that the stalls and things, A lot of times, pay attention how stressed have things changed, lost job, changed job, moved, divorces, these kinds of things. They will absolutely mess up our hormones, and our body just will hold on to that because we're in a stressful period. The more we stress about the number on the scale going down, the slower it is going to go down. This is something that I'm finding for myself as well. Letting go. The number does not define me. Yes, I want to lose weight so I weigh less and can move around even better, but it is nothing about the number on the scale. But Wendy, I do suggest start with journaling what you're eating. Make sure carbs and sugars aren't sneaking in there. The sausages I like to eat, I wholeheartedly admit they have 2 carbs in each of them. And so limiting those to just a few to hopefully twice a week most for me is key. Let's see. Right here. Set small goals, one step at a time. It's just like, do not, guys, do not. If you have, I don't care if you have 50 or even 20 pounds, it seems overwhelming. Don't focus on the number. I'm serious. You'll find, I notice it when I look back at my weight chart, the times that I just like let the weight go were honestly the weeks I lost more weight. Why? Because I was less focused on like, um, oh my gosh, I need to, do more, eat less this. I just let it go, did life, and I found I actually moved more. So, all right. Word vendors, 260, 65 starting tomorrow. Woo! Meat and fridge and freezer, crap food trashed. Want to see my beautiful grandbabies grow up. Yes, do it. Add a little bit of walking. I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day, just to get a little bit of serotonin, dopamine in your mind. Do it. I mean, oh, I'm excited for you. Peggy, my goal is to survive day to day. Think about this slightly different. Make your goal to live day to day. Survival, that's where I was at. That is like a bad place to be in the sense because you're in a stressful mindset. If you're trying to survive, you're out in the woods, and you're surviving, it's stress. So change that goal to living, doing new things every day. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. 11 months on carnivore, no longer pre-diabetic. Oh my gosh, yes. No more autoimmune issues. I can get up off the floor I found today. What? You guys, that is an amazing non-scale victory. Getting up off the floor, 65 pounds down. Congrats, Leah. Oh, I'm super excited for you. The other day I noticed I just like easily popped up off the ground. It's a while back I was able to get up, but it was some effort. But the other day I just sat down, stood up, no hands. It's like a wonderful feeling. Christy, weight might not be changed, but maybe your measurements are. Yeah, and that's why I think month to month, I really am like delving headfirst into this month to month weighing. Week to day, please do not weigh yourself day to day. A gallon of water is like 8.3 pounds. If you drink a lot, you can see your weight fluctuate up the next day by a few pounds, right? Like let's say you gain 3 pounds the next day and then the day after you've dropped 5. It's crazy, okay? Do not weigh yourself daily. Monthly, weekly, if you're obsessed about it, but I say monthly. I'm all for that. Lynn, high medium frequency. Welcome. Lynn, cortisol adjustment, switching from OMAD to 2MAD. Yes, that has worked excellent for me. Adding Dr. Bright's protocol for fat. First day, my BG was lowest in a long time. Blood glucose. Sorry, I had to put BG together. It's wonderful seeing those numbers go down. Hi, Ron. I always get stuck in my head. I'm my own biggest critic. We are and saboteur. How do I get out of that mindset and retrain something like that? That hypocritical voice has been my conscience for so long. I don't know where the book is. If you have not read Atomic Habits, that is how you do it. You guys, there's 103 of you watching right now. If you have not read that book, even if you are not like a reader, that book is life-changing. It teaches us how to change habits. Like, let's be honest, this voice in our head, right? It is the habit of constantly critiquing and being mean to ourselves. Okay, there's two ways. Well, there's two things you do. Read Atomic Habits. It'll teach you it. And the other thing is be honest. Do not lie to yourself or others. And the biggest thing is yourself. Do not lie. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Like, I'm going to go put this pin in the drawer. Get up and do it. Because what does that do? It makes us trust ourselves because we do what we say we're going to do. That nagging voice in our mind, it comes from constantly breaking our word. I'm not going to do that. And you go and do it. I'm not going to do that. And you do it again. Imagine having a friend, because I think most of us have that friend that says, I'm going to be there at X time, or I'm going to do this. And they never actually do it ever. Or at least 99% of the time. The next time they say they're going to do something, are you going to believe them? You're like, no, why are you lying to me? And that's exactly what that voice is. It's like almost like a fractured part of us that is just like the mean side that knows all the lies we've repeatedly told ourselves. Do not lie to yourself or anyone else. And Jordan Peterson, one of the chapters, like, God, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's like, don't lie or tell the truth, or at least don't lie. That's what it's called. That chapter is an excellent chapter too, by the way. Hi, Kat. How long did it take you to reverse diabetes? My diabetes, so my A1C was within normal within 3 months. I'm thinking probably 6 to 7 months. I had my fasting insulin checked a couple months into my journey. It was 13.7, it's something like that. And then I just had it checked again recently, and it's 7. So somewhere between there, I'm thinking 6 to 8 months, I reversed the diabetes. Having a normal A1C does not mean your diabetes is reversed. What it means is your blood glucose levels are being controlled by what you eat. Now, that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not shunning anybody for that. That is a beautiful thing. That means you're not damaging your body with all this sugar. But you have to have normal fasting insulin levels. So what that means is all my cells, when we are type 2 diabetic, the cells get bombarded by insulin, which are carrying the glucose around, and they down regulate. So they literally like kind of close some of the doors that are open to the cell, and that leaves the insulin and sugar floating through your body, which is why we have these high blood sugars. Okay. It takes time for them to upregulate, where they start opening the doors up because the glucose insulin is more scarce, which is what we want. And then you'll have a normal fasting insulin level. Okay. So keep that in mind. Oh, thank you, Mama Cat. It's very sweet of you. Alan, I fell slap off the wagon, but preparing today and getting back on plan. Thanks for your motivation. I had a total right hip replacement last August. Want to get back into walking again. Any tips to start? Start small. And at this point, you won't have any hip precautions because it was last August. Usually they only last 3 to 4 months. Start small. Do some stretching for your hip. The thing about hip, or actually any joint replacement, is because they've gone in and most of the time they don't cut things, but they move them around. It causes damage in scar tissue. You will slowly lose range of motion if you're not using that joint a lot. So start small. And there is, I think it's Bob and Brad. They are very wordy. Personally, I mute them and fast forward. Their content is good, minus the talkiness. They have some really good hip stretches that you can do that I would suggest, and start walking. Okay. And also, Alan, you fell off the wagon, figure out why, and put some kind of barrier into place. Like, let's say you went out to eat and that was just like the downfall of falling off the wagon. Don't go out to eat for a while, like set up barriers to help that. Peggy, I'm riding my bike right now. Amazing. Please don't fall off your bike. Barbara, do I need to eat more? I have yet started swimming each weekday. Cravings, sugary things. Okay, let me get this right. You're craving sugary things, and so you're wondering if you need to eat more. If that is the case, the question I have is, how far into it are you? You may, I don't know if you necessarily need to eat more. I would suggest eating more fat. If you are hungry after you eat, most of the time you just need to eat a little more fat, and that'll create some satiety. Specify that a little more. I can probably answer it a bit better. Oh, down 35 pounds from February. Congrats. Walking Monday, 10K, hiking the best. The best. Ron, Ben, I'll be 67 August 1st. Happy early, like 3-week birthday. Taking off 145 pounds. Congrats, living keto and carnivore. That's amazing. I bet you feel like a completely different person. That is fantastic. I'm probably falling behind. Sorry, guys. I'm doing my best. Peggy, have to change the conversation. Yes. Yep. The whole, and I've fallen into this. Like, I think some of my older videos, you'll even hear me say this. I want the fat ratio of my body down. The number is not important. If you guys have seen, like, there are some people that have done, where they went and they weighed 120 pounds and now they weigh 146, but they are very, very fit. The number, we tie so much to the number. It really matters about our body fat percentage. Like, that's the thing. Lynn, I don't have a scale. It's perfect. Had a hard time eating even before the diet. When I started the diet, my appetite went so far down. I was literally eating like 3 bites of food, and I'm a bigger guy. I'm curious why you were having a hard time eating even before this. Like, are you maybe a bari patient or had bariatric surgery? Because that can cause some problems. If you want to expand a little bit on that. What's the name of the book? It is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I must have it downstairs. And normally, oh, just kidding. It was under my chair. Okay. This book, I have literally no affiliation with this gentleman, but I will tell you I'm reading it a second time, partially because I'm doing the videos, but also because I'm reading it a second time anyways. It is a wonderful book. You want to change your habits. You want to know how. This is the book to read. Okay. So the summation of the book is tiny choices. Every single day, they add up into mountains. And I've been saying this all along, even before I read this book, but this just reiterated the importance of small steps, small bites. Mama Cat, getting ready to read it. I'm a teacher, and my district created a professional development book. Okay, if I don't know what grade you teach, but I honestly think high school students should read this book. I just don't, it's amazing. Brianna, how long did it take for your appetite to go down? I hear all the time people saying they just aren't hungry. That's not me. I can eat a whole lot of meat multiple times a day. Once you get fat adapted, well, this is a two-part. Once you get fat adapted, you will notice you start eating less. Some people, it's pretty drastic. Some, it's not. They'll just go from eating, if this is a normal size, they'll eat like this much. They'll have like a 20% reduction in what they eat. So fat adapted. Second, the eating, is it boredom eating? Is it you're used to feeling like, I used to feel like that overstuffed feeling. That was like when I knew to stop eating, was I was stuffed. Is it the feeling that you're expecting off a little bit? I now like listen, every bite I take, it's this conversation of, do I actually need this? And then like the other day I ate half a ribeye. That's it. Half a ribeye. I was done. And it's listening to that voice in my mind versus listening to the feeling of my stomach. When I listen to the feeling of my stomach, I eat until like I'm bloated. Hi, Adam. Happy Sunday. Down 120. Congrats. I have a lot of people asking me questions about what I'm doing. When you get someone eating standard American diet, what key points do you tell them to start? Give up. Well, it depends on what they want to do and how drastic and motivated. But first thing is give up the carbs. Plenty of people do excellent on keto. I just have autoimmune, so I opt for carnivore. And some people without autoimmune, they still choose carnivore. It's a personal choice. I do not find any of them the wrong way. Like keto, carnivore, you decide what works for you. But the carbs. And the big thing I tell people is it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. For every carb you have, you hold 2 grams of water. Okay. So it's a lot of fluid. So for like these, this is getting off subject, guys, but patients, heart patients and stuff like that, carbs are the devil. 12 Rules is a good book. I'm on the road listening it a lot. Yes, we actually have 2 copies. We lent one of the ladies that comes to our meetup. We lent Scott's version out because I'm bad about writing in my books, the important ones. That is actually, so I used to suggest 12 rules before Atomic Habits, but I've kind of reversed that. I absolutely wholeheartedly believe the Atomic Habits first, because it gets you setting yourself up for success, learning the small ways to change our habits. And then the thing about the 12 rules, whether you wear a Jordan Peterson fan or not, set it aside. Like, this is nothing political, nothing like this. This book taught me how to be completely honest with myself, look back at all my past traumas and let all that baggage go. And honestly, it really is very important about, I think it's like chapter 7 or something, is tell the truth or at least don't lie. It is an amazing book for continuing forward and giving the tools for that. So I recommend both of these, like, books. Read this one first, read this one second. This one's a little bit harder and slower of a read, but it's still very good. Had the same right hip replaced. I've been fine 3 miles a day. Yes. Christy, I love Bob and Brad. Their content's great. Too talky for me, but that's Amanda's, Definitely feel smaller with my inches lost. And clothes fitting, like the way your clothes fit. It's just, that's a big thing. Quietly fit. Where do I start? I recently did a how to start carnivore video. That would be the place to start. And I kind of summed some older videos that I had into just one. How do you sweeten your coffee? I do not. I used to be a venti caramel frappuccino with extra caramel kind of girl. Had it, honestly, most days. Like, I hate to even admit that. I would be nauseated if I knew how much money I spent in Starbucks over the past years. Now I left my coffee downstairs. I do coffee, heavy cream, that's it. It took some adjusting, but honestly, I prefer it that way. And the nice thing is now when I travel, I just have to find heavy cream. I don't have to worry about anything like that. You can some people add stevia if you need a sweetener. If you can avoid sweeteners, this is again off subject again, but if you can avoid sweeteners, I strongly suggest it. If you are a binge eater or someone struggling with eating sugars, stevia keeps that sweet, like craving desire, because your taste buds are getting the sweetness, but then when you ingest it, your body is like prepping to get sugar. It'll actually spike your insulin slightly, and then you don't get the sugar. And it's like, what the heck? So then it starts craving. It's like, I was expecting to get sugar. Some people are completely fine with this. I have stevia every once in a while in my element. I alternate between doing the raw element and the flavored. Just, if you can try it without sweetener, do it. Ronald, I found I have to give up sugar and my appetite for sweets and other foods went way down. Then I was able to stick to a low carb diet, but my joints were still aching, so I decided to go carnivore. I'm curious how long you've been doing it and if you feel better. I love fruits and vegetables. So do I. So I'm worried about that. I will be eating avocados at first. Have you missed fruits and vegetables? Sometimes mine were raspberries, honestly. For missing fruits and vegetables was raspberries every once in a while. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean I've had probably 3 times over the past year some raspberries. It's not the end of the world. 98% of my diet's carnivore. The other 2% I'm not going to stress about. It doesn't mean I'm never, ever going to have some. And vegetables. I love collard greens. I've had them once, I think, in this past year. My sister-in-law made them. It doesn't mean I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to eat them. Some people will. They'll 100% stick to it, and that is kudos. But that is not me. I am realistic about if this is a forever thing, that means the things I do enjoy having, I have to be able to have, even if it's once or twice a year. Okay. Also, look at it this way. Depending on why you're doing it, whether it's health or weight, it doesn't actually matter. I spent my entire 32 years of my life eating what I wanted, and now I just have to eat what I need. And meat satiates me. I enjoy it. I don't miss them honestly that much. Plus, dishes easy, cleanup easy, cooking in 10 minutes done. I would not go back to spending 3 hours making fancy, like sun-dried tomato homemade pasta. I used spaghetti squash. I don't actually really like noodles that much. I don't miss cooking for 3 hours and cleaning up. All right, Lynn, carnivore 2.5 years. The process evolved, tweaked. Yeah, it's an adjustment. Figuring out what works for you. It really is. Oh Lord, that frap sounds good. It doesn't anymore, but you know why? Because it's like, if I had that today, I'd have like the ultimate diarrhea. If I have like regular sugar, it's going to be in the bathroom forever. In the bathroom. And that absolutely keeps me away from it because I do not want to be crying, dying in there. Give up coffee. It could save $800 a year. It's an expensive habit. It is. Scott and I still drink. We make our own coffee at home, and every once in a while, I will get a blonde Americano, iced. I like it, or hot with heavy cream. And that's my treat. And I have that once every 2 weeks, maybe. It's much cheaper. It's like half the price of, maybe it's like a third at this point. For the same size of venti, it's like $3.50. It's probably like $9 for a Frappuccino at this point in time. Martin, I put butter in my coffee. Yep, we've done buttered coffee as well. No more desire to use cream or milk. Start with a small amount. Yeah. And use a blender to emulsify or a frother. Don't just plop the butter in your coffee because it will just float at the top and then you get like this weird butter mustache. It's not very pleasant. Karen, my gut hasn't missed fruits or vegetables at all. Yeah, And I can tell you the times I've missed the raspberries, it was just like a stressful time for me. And it's like, oh, raspberries sound so delicious. First, here we go. Heavy cream, dark chocolate, cocoa powder. Chocolate seems to cut down on chocolate cravings. Find the small things that work. Here's something that I found is there are all sorts of people in the world, which you guys all knew that. But whatever it takes to get you to be consistent, you will have people who are like, oh, cocoa powder is not carnivore. And you might be doing keto or ketovore, doesn't matter. I don't actually care. Because here's the thing. If it's not one thing that keeps you being consistent, well, the consistency is going to get you your health and where you need to go. Worry about the 90% versus focusing on the 10. Because if that 10% that's a little fudgeable is what keeps the 90 spot on, who cares? For coffee, decide if you keep for coffee, just test and decide if you keep drinking it. Yeah, try it out. I tried 30 days no coffee. I felt no change. Some people do, some don't. It is a very personal journey for all of us. Had a commercial espresso machine. That's fancy. When we drink 20 amp breaker, $100 a month. Wow. The money savings doing carnivore is crazy. Not just because we don't throw anything away. I did throw a lime that my mom had when she was here. And I told Scott, I was like, throw it in the trash. I'm like, haven't had to throw fruit or, things away in a while. We have our trash bi-weekly. We save $60 a month on trash because we only have to, every 2 weeks, have our trash picked up. Like, who knew? And our neighbors next door, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They're vegan, which is, you do you, but they have a lot of trash every single week. Well, actually, all of our neighbors do. Lisa, have you shared about the scar on your chest? I've always wondered, but no. So it's called a keloid scar. I had a sebaceous cyst 3 years ago. And they had to remove the sebaceous cyst. Well, I have an allergy to adhesives and bandages and stuff. And so it created this keloid scar. It's gotten much better. It used to be so painful I couldn't touch it, but that's all this is. Eventually, I'd like to have it removed. Part of, I think, what caused it was the adhesive caused a reaction, and then it hurt so bad because my dog punched me in the chest and it ruptured the cyst. And so I had to actually go to the hospital and have it dealt with. Is I didn't want to wear a bra or anything because my shoulders hurt so bad. So it's just, and honestly, the midline of our body, we tend to be more likely to have keloid scars because the skin has to stretch from our arms. So there's that. Kel, use keto chow as coffee creamer. There you go. You do you. Let's see. Low fat carnivore still kept me craving food. Yes. So it seems to be high fat. The reason is low fat carnivore is a high protein, moderate to low fat, low to no carb diet. And it is similar as protein sparing modified fasting. And I've done that before. It is not, fat is very satiating to us. And that is why when you eat a high protein, low fat diet, you will be hungry a lot. The fat is what is satiating for us. I did terrible with protein sparing, by the way. It was when I was in college. I remember being like a zomboid, just like praying each foot went in front of the other, trying to get to class. Oh, I probably do. Gifted a Godiva chocolate basket yesterday, not even slightly tempted, taking it to church. That is, there was a spammer. I didn't even see him. Peg, I've been keto for nearly 3 years. The cream was hard to give up. Yeah. The journey's been learning about what is in foods and about what is in foods. And yeah, what's going on. It varies. It truly varies on quality and type. I found for me doing things like going out and eating, it is very difficult, even if you just eat meat, because to sear these steaks, a lot of them put seed oils. They'll put vegetable oil on the outside, or they'll use flavor enhancers on their meat and things like that. It just takes time, you know. The challenge is our food ingredients keep changing. The coffee I love was 0 carbs, now 3 carbs. They put stuff in them. Sometimes with the coffee I found is they'll add cornstarch, which is where you can get the carbs from, to keep it from clumping together. Also, I don't remember the name brand. There's a taco seasoning I found that I really loved. No MSG, no additives. And I found it at Costco, bought the big bottle. Then I looked at the big bottle and I realized the first ingredient was corn, like ground corn. I'm like, what the heck? This is taco seasoning. And I realized to make it cheaper, if they fill it half with corn, half with spices, shake it up, and it looks the same, the corn is super cheap versus the spices, boom, they make more profit. So just you gotta check it. Michelle, simple question. What brand of coffee frother do you use? I keep going down a rabbit hole on Amazon and can't decide. If you go to my webpage, thecarnivoresme.com, there's a little like Amazon symbol. I have it on there. I don't remember the brand. I went down this rabbit hole of trying to figure it out. I bought some from Bed Bath & Beyond when they still existed, and Target, and they all just didn't do well. I like the one I have. Just go check it there. I don't remember the name, but I have the exact one that I got on the thing. Karen, how long did it take to stop gasping for air when you walk? Breathing is still hard some days. Months. Like, no joke, months. And then here's the other thing. If you go from walking flat and then you're no longer gasping, try hills. You're going to keep, like, we did that bike hike yesterday. And I mean, some of the hills were like this. At one point I had to have Scott pull my bike up. He was in front of me because I couldn't actually push it up this really, like, almost use my hands portion of it. and I was gasping for air. Like I'm going up this steeple incline. But for basic just walking around, a few months. It's a slow thing. Each day gets a little bit better, but you don't notice it until weeks and months have passed. Just keep pushing forward. It will get better. Also, if you have allergies and things like that, like during the spring in the beginning for here, there's a lot of pollen. It can make it a little bit worse. And then how you're doing with eating. Like if I have carbs and stuff, I definitely, even now, can notice it. Has anyone had toenail fungus with carnivore? I have fungal problems on my pinky toes. If it is your toenail, that is a kind of a fungal growth that grows in the toenail and the toenail thickens. Distilled white vinegar, twice a day, spray it on, give it 6 months. It'll stop it from growing. It cannot kill it, or well, the portion it's already taken over the nail, it can't kill it because it can't get all the way down. But what it will do is it'll prevent it from spreading. And then as your nail grows out, you clip the fungal off, boom, done, problem solved. White distilled vinegar, cheapest thing. I actually had a patient one time, a podiatrist was seeing it. I went to a patient's house and the podiatrist came, and that's what he told me. Scott does that because he has that problem where the fungal on the toenails. All right, Kathy, I'm not losing. And I think it's the cheese and not enough fat. Any suggestions? Butter, tallow, choose fatty meats. Cut the cheese for a month. Go 30 full days, no cheese, no milk, no nothing. See if that helps. But also, if you're weighing yourself daily, I said this earlier, don't do it. If you're doing weekly, don't do it. Set the scale aside for a full month while you're doing no cheese and then go from there. Also, journal the first week at least. Journal what you're eating. Sometimes things can creep in there that you just don't realize are, or maybe you're eating a lot more than you need. Someone said they were eating 3 ribeyes or eating a ribeye 3 times a day. And it was a woman. That's a lot. Unless you're like Sean Baker lifting, that'd be a lot of food. I can hardly eat 1 ribeye a day. And that's most of what I eat. And everybody's different, but just check that out. Just turned 62. Wish I'd found this way losing weight earlier. But, don't have regrets. We got where we got. And the fact that you are there now is beautiful. Yep, use Ninja to froth. You can use a frother. You can use, if you have the bullet, because it has a small cups, or if you're not super lazy like I am, I'm not going to clean my entire big blender. Actually, I keep meaning to put the blender up because I don't use it for anything. Okay. Tips for you're struggling with walking, take it slow. When you need to rest, walk with a friend. Or I love listening to classical calming music when I walk. To me, like I'm not a loud music person. That was just soothing with the walk. Audiobooks. Find an audiobook. Hi, Ketosis Focus. Right, Linda, Carnivore 29 days. Congrats. Celebrating 50th anniversary on the 21st of this month. I'm so conflicted about going off carnivore for 1 day. Here's my suggestion. Don't do it. If it's your anniversary, do something fancy. Get a ribeye, go somewhere. My birthday is in middle of September. I told Scott, I've already planned. Listen, it's July and I'm already planning for my birthday. I want lobster. And I'm not a huge seafood person, but I find I love crab and lobster. Lobster is expensive. So I told Scott, I'm like, find me a fancy restaurant that has lobster. That is what I want for my birthday. Every single year, except this past year, I've had a ginormous birthday cake that I ate mostly myself. I'll admit that. Over like 3 days, I ate the entire dang thing. No more. Because you've made all this progress of 29 days. And then you're going to do this one justifiable meal. And it's like, it feels like it's erased the past 29. It hasn't. Well, you'll be more than 29 days at that point. Find something fancy. Like if you like lobster, crab, fish, steak, something. I think you should do something, but do it fancy. Oh, yes. Susan, I use a cane when I leave the house for balance sake. Do it. I mean, like just the small walking. Oh my goodness. Michelle, candida, overgrowth for years. Yes. On this skin, it's called tinea versicolor, and it is just a fungal overgrowth that I had that completely disappeared with carnivore. Gone, boom. Like I even had the doctor give me the topical ointment for that, and it did help. But the second I stopped, it came back. Carnivore, nothing. Like it was so blotchy, like it was everywhere, everywhere. Bruce had toe fungus on SAD, cleared up once I went ketovore. Yeah, the white distilled vinegar. If you got that stubborn, like thick toenails, I know most of you have probably seen this as we get older, like the thick toenails, white distilled vinegar twice a day. I put it in a spray bottle for Scott. He just sprays his toenails, let it grow out, clean your toenail clippers, and after like 6 to 8 months, it'll be gone permanently. Once you get it gone, it's gone. Like doing carnivore keto stuff. Do you track macros at all? I do not. I do try to hit 60-40, 60% fat, 40% protein. I gauge this by a ribeye. A ribeye is 50-50. So put a little butter on a ribeye. And also after I eat each meal, if I find that I'm like hungry or have any remote cravings, I just have a little more fat the next meal. That's it. I'm not a tracker. It stresses me out. It's more stuff. We've got a lot going on in life. And the thing is we spent, thousands of years surviving as humans without tracking things. So if you like it, do it. It's no shame. It's a chewing workout. That's funny. Juicer, don't use that. I got rid. I've had like 3 juicers in my lifetime. I'm only 33. I've been getting rid of all these extra stuffs. Like it just, oops. Started Lion to help Emmy and steers. Feel so much better, but even eating chuck roast, I'm so much more hungry than on carnivore. Are you adding fat like tallow? Because if you're doing Lion, it's going to be a lot more strict, and usually butter is a no-no with that. You could do ghee too. I would suggest homemade ghee. It's pretty dang simple. It's cheaper and it tastes better. Most of the ghee you buy already made is not very good. Add fat. Add tallow. Either buy it. I think Carnivore Crisp sells tallow. You might find tallow at the grocery store. I've just never had to buy it. We make our own by getting beef trimmings from the butcher and then 6 hours in the Dutch oven, stirred a few times. Dump that through cheesecloth. Boom, you've got tallow. It's just rendered beef fat. That is what I would suggest. Up your fat intake to help with that. Thank you, Peg. Paula, started carnivore 6 days ago. Do I need to watch my calories? No. In the beginning, do not worry about how frequently you're eating or how much. Focus on eating, if you're doing carnivore, meat. Just focus on not getting hungry. The goal in the beginning is to get fat adapted. Once you get fat adapted, your body will naturally stop wanting as much food. Okay. And the problem with calories is calories are too narrow of a purview. Like the human body, we have hormonal changes. We have what kind of fuel are you burning? Calories don't take any of that into account. That's why you can have someone, a small female eating 3,000 calories, losing weight, and then you can have a small female eating 1,200, not losing weight. Our hormones are the most important thing. And our body, if we hone in and learn to listen to it, it will just naturally eat the amount it needs to and lose weight. Our bodies don't actually want to be, in my case, still morbidly obese. They don't want to. It's very hard on them. Okay. Focus on just eating well for the first few weeks to get fat adapted. And you'll notice you'll just slowly stop eating less. And that's when you start hitting that fat adapted stage. Scallops. This is a texture thing for me. Oh boy. September 1st. Yes. September 13th. That is when my birthday is. Hi, Emma. Hi, Sergey. Nothing in my life is TMI anymore. I spent my first few years working at long-term care, like skilled nursing facilities, doing physical therapy. I won't repeat what a friend said to me because it was funny, but slightly inappropriate. But I have seen so much. I have. Oh my goodness. Debbie, been doing keto since 2017, had a stall for a year, and my son wanted to lose some weight to help his back. Oh, good. We started Ketovore the 30th. He's lost 13. I've lost 5. Congratulations. And I imagine his back is already slowly starting to feel better. That was a huge motivator for me in the beginning, was having to use that stupid walker because my back hurt so bad. Because I was like, 4 years pregnant at that point. I had so much on my abdomen. Straight vinegar, mixed water, just straight vinegar. White vinegar, bottle, spray, boom. If you want to be real good and kind of help it speed up a little bit, if you put it on a cotton ball and kind of like dab it to like get it in the grooves, that's even better. Scott just sprays it on and it works fine. It would just be a little bit better if you kind of saturated the cotton ball so you really get down in those crevices, because the whole point is to keep that new nail growing out from getting any fungus on it. Love drinking fat with coffee. Some carnivores frown on it. Would like to know your opinion. My opinion is, nobody has the right to judge what the other person is doing. They are not you. None of us have walked a half a millimeter in someone else's shoes. If you feel fine with it, do it. I have no judgment. This is not, how do I say this? If you want to make this a life choice, there has to be some kind of enjoyment in it, right? If you are being just like this vigilant jail keeper, that is when we start feeling bound, especially if you've been a binge eater. The more constricted I feel in my eating, the more like I'm going to eat something bad just because I feel so constricted. Don't let anybody else's opinion bug you. I have coffee with heavy cream or butter. I have like a cup every single day. Okay. Why worry about and that's the other thing. It's like, why worry about that 2% when you're doing 98% well? Who cares? Unless you're going to you're really like autoimmune, sick, or you're really just trying to squeeze out that last 2%. There's nothing wrong with that. But I care about being 98% better when I was 100% super sick, dying before. Carnivore 3.5 years, never tracked macros. I have an idea about, you learn. You just learn. And mine's by satiety. You just learn, in the beginning. Again, if you are a tracker, that's completely fine. But I find it stressful because then it's like, I messed up yesterday. Oh God. I just make myself wrong the whole time. Peggy, you made it 5 miles. Congrats. Oh, how fun. I love bike riding. And it's good for your balance too. Hi, Crystal. Peggy, you may need to give up the coffee. I say a 30-day trial with everything. I did 30 days coffee, no change. Did 30 days no cheese, no change. Although the Gardner, Wisconsin cheese is a little slight game changer for me because I'm really not a cheese person. We had a slice of cheese on the chicken yesterday. And that's usually like I'll have cheese once every few days. Scott eats cheese like daily. I like cheese, but I'm not like love. That Wisconsin cheese is too good. There's nothing bad in it, but I love cheese breadsticks, and that's what it tastes like without all the crap in them. So that's my treat. That's my new carnivore treat is that. And hey, it's worked real well through this July challenge immensely. It was the back pain that sent me to a bariatric nutritionist. Yeah. My brother has fungus on his toenails, makes his socks and shoes stink like heck when he takes his shoes off. But do you have to replace socks or shoes? If it is in the shoes, the fungus likes damp, moist, dark areas. The shoes have got to go. Secondly, he should be. So here's the thing. If you can go barefoot most of the day, like when you're not at work, do it. It lets your feet air out. It keeps the fungus from growing as long as you're treating the fungus. Because, right, if you have athlete's feet, you need to be treating it so you don't give it to everybody else. If he works and his feet sweat a lot, the best solution is have 2 pairs of socks, change them halfway through the day. And the best solution is to have 2 pairs of shoes and change it. If you're like being really vigilant, replace the shoes if they are stinky. Because even if you put vinegar in there, you're not going to get rid of it. Change socks frequently. Okay. That is like, don't give a flying kite what other people say or think about what I do. Good. Because, people got their opinions. Like, people have opinions about everything. Doesn't mean they have any bearing. But yeah, my opinion is, like, I do dirty carnivore. I use spices. Why? That is what keeps me interested in the meat. I've tried lion diet. And it just was too restrictive for me. Yes, maybe my autoimmune would be doing a little bit better if I wasn't doing it, but I care about consistency. Just laying off the ding dong counts for something sometimes. Yes. That's funny, but very true. Very true. I don't have a problem with a bit of veg here and there. Ever see a cat with a cat grass or catnip? Dogs eat grass occasionally too. Yes, I actually was watching something the other day. Dogs do not always eat grass to vomit. It's actually only a few of the times. It's something else about it. I'm not really sure. It was kind of interesting, but then I got lost in it. Yeah. Ron, day 39, longest I've gone without my Diet Coke. Don't miss it. Yes. That is amazing. Have you guys ever seen them pour Coke on the paint of a car? It will literally eat the paint off the car. Okay. Like, I'm not suggesting you do this to anybody by any means, but if it's doing that to paint, can you imagine what it's doing to our guts? Especially over years. I've never been a soda person, but I have had soda in my lifetime. Hi, Sister Fifi. All right. Started carnivore a month ago, blood pressure 160 over 100. Took today 118 over 82. Yes, getting the carbs out of the body. Most cardiologists, and I think this is because people eat carbs, so it's like a losing battle, they'll tell people to avoid or have a low sodium diet. Why? Salt likes water, water likes carbs, and it's like this chain. And if you have too much blood volume, it increases your blood pressure, right? Remove the carbs, get rid of the water. Salt intake is like a fraction of a deal when you have like high blood pressure and stuff. And it'll just naturally come down, getting rid of that. Horse riding. Oh, how fun. My sister's 6 months pregnant now, and she does dressage horse riding stuff. She's been missing it. I just, okay. You can use soda to clean your car battery, right? Like, what is it doing to our guts? It cannot be healthy in any way, shape. Horse riding. Yes. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Y'all, it's just, we are going to the Highlands Festival today. Scott's actually, I hear him down there clinking pans. He's making us breakfast because what I always say, you're going to go do something, eat before you go. So he's making us a little late breakfast. Well, actually, it's spot on. We eat at 10 or 11 most of the time anyways. We're going to do the Highlands Festival. I'm going to take a lot of footage. I've never been. Has anybody else been to a Highlands Festival? It's supposedly supposed to be so much fun. Tia, is your lipedema going away? Yes, slowly. My lipedema is just my arms. Y'all can see my skin, but well, whatever. I've always had large arms, but I have like the pearls, right? That's lipedema. I can still feel them, but some of them are half the size they were. Okay, it's like much better. I do not wear compression stockings. I used to have to wear them all day long before I started carnivore. Probably 4 weeks, 90% of the swelling in my legs gone. I mean, just absolutely gone. Doctor told me to eat real salt and take Vita proteins in my coffee. Not sure what Vitaproteins are, but real salt, I'm assuming he means like Redmond's. I love Redmond's. That is my go-to. They have smoked flavored salts, guys. If you haven't tried them, we had yesterday. Been trying to be better. I'm going to do more what I ate. So I've been trying to be better about it. We did chicken. Scott did chicken thighs. I say we, and Scott made dinner. That's funny. Chicken thighs with, he put some garlic powder, onion powder, and then put a slice of Swiss cheese on top with smoked hickory salt. And then I had a little Dijon mustard. Thank you, honey. Here. Funny enough, Scott brought my Redmonds up for breakfast. Thank you, honey. Let's see. For my birthday, we're doing a balloon ride. Oh, that'll be so much fun. For like Scott and I's engagement, we did a hot air balloon ride. It was fun. It was real fun. Yeah, these, you know what? These should be the things that we do for anniversaries and birthdays, going out and having adventures like this, right? Like, just think about how much money I would trade it. We don't do birthday presents just because we're adults. Scott and I are. I expect a birthday card, hand done birthday card. These are the things that we remember. We've been married 8 years. So this was 9 years ago. I still remember doing that hot air balloon ride. Do I remember the birthday cake I had 5 years ago? No. I can't even tell you what flavor it was. How many pounds are you down? 121, but that was 2 weeks ago that I weighed, something like that. I will be weighing August 1st. I'm doing monthly weighing to see if that helps, because I feel less stressed about my weight. We'll see how that goes. Michelle, balloon ride on my bucket list. Do it. It is so much fun. Smoked flavored salt. Yes, they have. I bought the package that has hickory. Oh my gosh, cherry. Is there 3 or 4? There's a chef special. I don't know if it's 3 or 4. I don't remember. When this is over in the description, I've got a link to Redmond's too you can use. Yes, and for the new people, you haven't seen this. I made this little bag, but Redmond sells salt. I don't know if they call it salt rock or salt crystal. These guys, this one has a lot of silicate in it. That's why it's red. You can see a little bit of the salt crystal there. This thing works fantastic for cravings. Like, you're going through a stressful period and you're just like, oh my God, I want the whatever cake, donuts, whatever it is. Sucking on it a few times, it hits my cravings 9 out of 10 times. Just sucking on it a few times and drinking a little water. They sell them. I love these things. I actually have one in my purse, one in the drawer here, one down by my desk, and I even made a bag and a thing for Scott for his desk. He even uses it. Love these things. So those are another Redmond's thing to use. 67, getting thin skin, especially hands, arms, increased fat, protein, health. You will see an improvement. Skin thinning, part of it can be slight genetics, and the other part can be just years of diet. It can improve. It is not going to go back to being 30, 40-year-old thickness skin, but you can improve it through diet. Ordered Element today. Hope it's good. I will be curious what kind of flavors you got. They have, I don't know if they're still selling it, but the grapefruit, it's a seasonal flavor, my favorite. But I love grapefruit, so. Lost 70, kept it off for 3 years. That's beautiful, All right. Found a channel this past week. Is that a ukulele? Or what is the little guitar thingy? That's cute. Sorry. I've been binging health videos. Love it. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you. Stein, I do. I love Dr. Ekberg, actually. His video is the one that I suggest if you want to know more about specifics with cholesterol. Love his video for that. Have you heard of toenail fungus going away in Carnivore? Today is the toenail fungus day, guys. All right, Greg, we talked about this a little bit ago. There are different kinds of toenail fungus. However, if you have actually, this will work for any. I'm not talking about your toenails. Scott's sitting next to me.
I'm not talking about my toenails. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
What happens as we get older, just it naturally happens if you wear shoes a lot and things like that, the toenail will start thickening. What you do is white distilled vinegar in a spray bottle twice a day. Spray your toes. The best thing you can do is put white distilled vinegar on a cotton ball and like sop each one of them with it. I had a podiatrist actually tell me this. I was seeing a patient one time and they had all toenails like that thick. They were thick. And I asked him what was the best solution. He's like, honestly, he said, white distilled vinegar. But what happens is people want these creams and stuff to make it go away better. All you have to do is do it daily. He said 6 to 8 months. And what that does is it halts the growth. You can't get all the way at the base because it's thickened. But what you do is it keeps it off the new nail. You keep spraying it and you cut the old funky stuff off. In 6 to 8 months, once your toenail's grown out, boom, it's gone. Okay. Then once it's gone, it's gone. And Carnivore will keep it gone. Do that. It's super helpful. Super helpful. Whoops. Whoops. Click on the wrong thing. Got watermelon, grapefruit, and citrus. I love watermelon. I love the grapefruit. I don't remember if I've tried the citrus. I don't know. I've got a handful of flavors down there, but I do love watermelon. I do love the grapefruit. Can you give me your cup? Personally, because I just don't like, this is funny to say, a lot of sweetness. This is Scott's cup of water. For this size cup of water, I usually will do half a pack. If you like sweeter, you could do the whole, but I like doing half because it's a little sweetness, but not overwhelming. All right. Last thing, guys, and I got to eat because we have to get ready to go to the Highlands Festival. I like the little non-weight loss surprises that make you smile. As your body recalibrates, it's the little things that do not show up on the scale. Yeah. You know, yesterday, if you haven't watched the video I put out this morning, I was literally bike riding and started crying, like happy cry, but I started crying as I was going down. Why? Because I realized just how far I've come. Having to use a walker, forcing myself just to go to the mailbox, which is like 6 houses down, 7, to go to the mailbox and back was like running a marathon. To now, we're going up this incline. It's like a moderate incline, and I'm pedaling, and I'm huffing and puffing, but I'm going, not needing to stop. And it's like, a year ago, I would have never fathomed about the physical but mental change. I always wanted to quit. I'm like sweating, huffing and puffing. It's like, okay, quit time. Let's go back to the house. And now Scott is like, Amanda, you need to stop. We got to turn around. What happens if you get there and you're so tired you can't get back? It's like, I want to go versus wanting to quit. It is the small things. And actually, I need to write that down in my non-skill victory journal. Y'all, if you don't do this, do it. Oops. Pages. You will forget them. Write them down. Write them down. Okay. All right, everybody. We've got to run. I need to eat. And then I'll take lots of footage of Highlands Festival. It's supposed to be really, really fun. And I will see you guys again next Sunday at 9. I appreciate you. If you have not joined the July challenge, feel free to. I will put that in the description, how to do it. It is free for the month of July. And yeah, bye guys.